Hello, my name is Aaron Norris. In this presentation, I will be discussing a terrorist group, a brief history of the terrorist group, a brief history of their current leader, his motives, the impact the group had on the U.S., how the U.S. punishes these terrorists, and what I've learned. I will also discuss my takeaway from the project. The terrorist group I will be briefly covering is the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, also known as the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. The Islamic State began as a Jordanian-led extremist organization formed in 1999. The group quickly became active after the American invasion of the nation in 2003. It moved to Iraq in 2004 under the leadership of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi. Zarqawi named the organization Jamaat al-Tawheed wal Jihad, or the group One of One God in the Holy War. JTJ was one of the factions that attempted to drive the U.S. and coalition forces from the country and to disrupt the governmental transition as part of the insurgency. JTJ quickly gained notoriety for its violent tactics in targeting non-combatants, such as aid workers and native Iraqis. In 2004, Zarqawi came to an agreement with bin Laden and formally joined al-Qaeda. After pledging loyalty to al-Qaeda, Zarqawi initially renamed the organization Tanzim Qadit al-Jihad fi Bilad al-Rafidanian, or al-Qaeda in Iraq. The Zarqawi-led organization created Front Group, the longest surviving of which was Islamic State in Iraq, under the leadership of Hamid, more commonly known as Abu Omar al-Baghdadi. After a joint U.S.-Iraqi raid on April 18, 2010, two key members of Aki were assassinated. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi assumed control of a severely weakened Aki. In 2013, under Baghdadi's leadership, Aki became the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. ISIL briefly allied itself with al-Qaeda's Syrian affiliate al-Nusra, but disagreements led to a split between the two groups. In early 2014, the al-Qaeda central leadership rejected ISIL, at which time ISIL became an entity unto itself. After significant success in both Syria and Iraq, ISIL changed its name to the Islamic State, underscoring its determination to not be limited by geographic borders and restoring its vision of the caliphate. Al-Baghdadi's finishing school in radicalism was unwittingly provided by the U.S. In February 2004, after the invasion of Iraq, he was visiting a friend in Fallujah when U.S. Army intelligence officers burst in and arrested them both. Al-Baghdadi was taken to the notorious prison camp Bucca, which inadvertently became the server as an incubator for Sunni jihadism. There, he was a skilled networker, courting radical factions and building a reputation as a religious leader based on his Islamic studies. These talents didn't register on his captors, who judged al-Baghdadi to be a low-risk prisoner. Released at the end of 2004, he returned to the Iraqi capital, where he pursued a doctorate and joined a series of jihadi groups invigorated by the fall of Saddam Hussein and the U.S. occupation. In early 2006, he found his ultimate home in the Iraqi al-Qaeda offshoot. Al-Baghdadi's nominal religious qualifications and rigid dogmatism carried him quickly through the ranks, and in May 2010, after the U.S. killed the only two men above him, he emerged as the Emir. The mindset of al-Baghdadi is unstable. He is an unwavering true believer. He made a statement saying, "The time of death for each man and woman is preordained," implying that all killings must be the will of Allah. Al-Baghdadi once had a spokesman state that if you can kill a disbelieving American or European, kill the disbeliever, whether he is a civilian or military. Al-Baghdadi is planning to take over the world. He has an apocalyptic vision of final battle between the forces of radical Islam and the West. He also plans on enslaving anyone not indentured to Allah. This group is motivated by political and religious factors. Due to the threat, the ISIL is the United States has sent numerous troops, numerous brave Americans to support Iraqi forces in the fight against ISIL. From the death of numerous U.S. citizens to the cost from the taxpayers to combat this terrorist organization, ISIL has made a vital impact on the emotions of U.S. citizens, from killing off their loved ones to just killing in general. The psychological impact has played a major factor in creating a new hate for another ethnicity and or religious group. Many U.S. citizens look at people who might resemble someone that is Middle Eastern and fear, and this fear causes people to do irrational things, such as commit hate crimes. It also causes people to believe that all Muslims are terrorists and are plotting to commit acts of terror on American soil. The various types of punishments for terrorists in the U.S. at the state level depend on the state. Some states have the death penalty, while others do not. So depending on the act, the most severe punishment is the death penalty, or life in prison without the possibility of parole, while the federal government has the ability to put anyone to death. Although the U.S. is well known for carrying out airstrikes and special operations to eliminate terrorists. While completing this project, I learned that terrorism is a real threat, not only to U.S. citizens but the world. I also learned a great deal about the Islamic State and why they do what they do. I have a saying, the bad guys are the good guys to the bad guys, and the good guys are the bad guys to the bad guys. The Islamic State truly believes that they are the good guys, even though they commit atrocities. They kill innocent people, women, children, all for their religious beliefs and political gain. I also learned that while not every Muslim is a threat, you never know who is a sympathizer of a terrorist organization, even if you think you know the person.